Welcome everyone to the 25 subscriber special for Star Trek Online. I am your host, the Housecoat Gamer. Now a long time ago, somewhat, I promised I would make a full run of the 23rd century as a TOS character. I am about to fulfill that promise. If the game loads. This always happens when you're making a new tune. Honestly, the look doesn't matter. It's the uniform I need. And I'm not wearing this nonsense. I'm gonna go with a standard uniform with pants. Of course, I'm not going to be using the tutorial ship for very long. No point. And in case you're wondering, yes, I am going to be using the Thompson submachine gun and the TOS and stuff from the C-store. Because why the hell not? Just pull out the weapons, use them. Oh, this is going away very quickly. It's a good thing I have everything preset.
Captain's log, stardate 6147.4. We're orbiting planet Taurus 2 in the Murasaki 312 nebula. Our orders? Investigate the disappearance of a science vessel in this area. Search and rescue operations are about to commence.
That is pretty. And far better than my old tutorial did.
People you can interact with have icons above their heads.
Yes, we already know about that. Don't mind me, just making sure that the HUD is loaded. Such a pretty ship, isn't it? Expansion packs. All. Yeah, no. I know it's in here somewhere. Ah, bundles. I'm gonna need a few of these. Because TOS. Speaking of things, I know this is kind of cheating in regards to items, but it works. If it helps, right?
Lieutenant, we've located the wreckage of a crashed ship down there. I need to get boots on the ground, find out what's going on. Take a landing party down to the surface. Assess the situation and look for survivors. Not so fast. We can't use the transporters due to atmospheric interference. You'll need to take a shuttlecraft down. Use the sensors to locate a safe landing site. Did you find a suitable landing area? Excellent. I've assigned Ensign Mears to your landing party. She's been to Taurus 2 before. Her insight will be quite valuable. Meet up with her and the others in the shuttle bay. Don't forget to grab a phaser in the armory on your way. From what I've read in Jim Kirk's report, Taurus 2 can get a little rough.
Yes, I've watched the Galileo 7. It was fun. Especially when you see Spock floundering a little bit. I love these little attentions to detail. I mean, look at that. I only wish that could have been applied to every TOS bridge in the game. Here's Tarsi.
Ensign Tarsi, reporting for duty. The captain's asked me to make sure you get back in one piece, and I intend to do just that. Let's see. M-class planet? Barely. The Tarians are big, primitive, and quick to anger. I'd keep my phaser handy if I were you. Speaking of which, if you want to follow me to the armory, we can make sure your phaser is properly calibrated.
Now I know what you're thinking. Why would he pull out a STD weapon? Well, I'm not going to be using it, for one. Oh no, it's going on one of my landing party members.
Good job, Lieutenant. That should be enough, unless you want more practice.
I don't need practice. Then again, I'm more a fan of using the Thompson submachine gun for everything.
Ensign Mears, reporting as ordered. I'm ready when you are. Though I can't say I'm happy to see Taurus 2 again.
You and me both.
I was one of the so-called Galileo 7, a science team sent to study the Murasaki effect. Our shuttle crashed on Taurus 2. Not all of us made it back to the Enterprise alive.
And neither did your shuttlecraft, if I remember correctly.
Thank you. You can see why I'm reluctant to return to such a place.
I don't want to go down there either, but tutorial.
Yes, of course you're right, Lieutenant. I am a Starfleet officer, and I will perform my duties. You can count on me.
Let's just take a moment to admire everything. I mean, look at these shuttlecraft. Matt Jeffries knew what he was doing when he designed these things. My only problem is that there's no optional skin before the Class F refits seen in Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. I mean, seriously. I want those shuttles. I love those shuttles.
Lieutenant.
And I love that design. The patrol cruisers, I like those. Those work.
Ugh. It's just as grim as I remember it here. My skin is crawling. I can't help but feel like the creatures are out there, watching us, waiting to attack.
That's because they are. They don't like us, remember?
Right. Okay. It appears the ship crashed somewhere north of here. There are 2 paths from here that lead to the crash site, and there may be survivors on both. I recommend you take Alpha Team along the northwestern path, and I'll take Beta to the northeast. We'll rendezvous at the main crash site.
Here we go. And this is where the Thompson submachine gun is going to come into its own.
Is that a warp cell? Oh. Ew.
Well, it did come from an actual starship. Not some pathetic shuttlecraft. And there's the deflector dish.
Definitely Federation tech here. What's left of a shuttlecraft's coolant assembly, according to my tricorder.
Alright, let's find that shuttle.
There's your crashed shuttle. What's left of it, anyway. Look, someone's over there. I think they're hurt.
Alright, time to save that guy. Whoop.
Can I have a word, Lieutenant? Lieutenant, you won't be able to get close enough to revive him while that thing's venting plasma. Those valves should shut down the vents, though.
Thank you. We need to move. Those things, they're out there.
Flores, look out!
Oh! Spear to the back. That's gotta hurt. Oh boy. Forget phasers, I'm using the Thompson.
These things. Well, never mind.
I don't think so. I get it. Somebody's been messaging me. I don't care.
I'm Dr. Phineas Grogan, part of a research team studying the Murasaki effect. Well, I was before the ship crashed. I was looking for supplies when that thing roared. Got distracted and then that plasma coil blew. Damn near killed me. You're telling me we should get those supplies back to camp. Dr. Mueller's probably worried sick about it by now.
Well, time to grab the stuff and get on our way. Yeesh. That is a big boat. And here comes the spears. That's the last thing I need.
Am I glad to see you? We thought we were stranded here with those monsters.
They're not monsters, they're simply cavemen. There's a difference.
Those supplies you brought will come in handy while we wait. Just put them over there for now. You know, I think there's some old phaser rifles in there. Might come in handy against those creatures.
Old phaser rifles.
There are rifles in that crate. We should show the survivors how to shoot them. I'll set up some targets while you get ready.
Well, yeesh.
A phaser? I've never shot one of these before.
Wait, you want me to shoot this?
I get that this is the tutorial, but seriously, this? Is ridiculous. I don't need the phaser rifle. I've got better weapons.
The targets are ready, Lieutenant. Let the survivors start shooting and give them some pointers.
Wow, thanks. That feels a lot better.
I get it. That gives me a lot more control.
They're right behind me!
Well, that's one way to practice your dodging skills. Ah, crap. And this is where the Thompson submachine gun comes into its own.
Heads up! The Taurians are attacking!
Yes, I'm aware, but they won't be attacking for much longer. And who is giving me these mails? Oh, wait.
We
Bugs.
need to get these people to safety, Lieutenant. The Taurians will be back, and in greater numbers.
Who are they? Tuscan Raiders? Alright.
Lieutenant, we've held them off so far because they're scared of our weapons. But I don't think that'll last much longer. We've got to fall back to the wreckage. I might have an idea.
Electrify the ship? That's gonna be rather...
Shut the doors! They're right behind us!
shocking. Yeesh. Those shuttles.
Okay. Last time I was here, Commander Scott, electrified the hull of our shuttle. That drove the Taurians off when they tried to break in. Think we can pull something like that off here?
Of course we can. We just need to think creatively. Just like I shocked Nemesis in my playthrough. Still gonna need that new machine for the better run.
You did it! Lieutenant, it worked! Bless you, Scotty, wherever you are. I think we owe you a very nice bottle of scotch.
Multiple bottles of scotch, actually, to last them until the 25th century.
The Taurians ambushed us. I managed to escape, but the others, they've been taken. We've got to do something, and fast!
Get the survivors to the shuttle.
I was thinking, we can use our tricorders to track residual heat signatures left by the Taurians.
We don't need to track their heat signatures, just their gigantic footprints. I mean, seriously. Their footprints are massive. I mean, look at that. Oops. I would use superior weaponry, but I'm rather limited. And the big one. Just a reskinned Gorn from the look of things. That was pathetic. Come on!
Lieutenant! We're over here! Help! Thanks for coming back for us, sir. We owe you one. Pretty sure those things were gonna have us for dinner.
Yeah, judging from the fire and the pig spit.
Fascinating. The Taurians appear to be in a late Stone Age state of development.
Now isn't the best time for an anthropology lecture, Skial.
There is never a good time for an anthropology lecture.
Am I seeing things? Because those guys picking through the wreckage sure look like Klingons. Just what are the Klingons doing on Taurus 2?
Getting their asses kicked.
Looks like they're not in the mood for questions, Lieutenant. Hey, is that a Klingon pad? Bring it to me. I have some experience decrypting Klingon data. My little sister's diary was harder to decrypt. Sure, Klingons are good at fighting, but computers aren't exactly their strong suit. And voila! One Klingon pad unlocked and ready for your inspection.
Yes, there's a reason they piggyback off of Federation Romulan technology.
Captain Core, your plan has worked perfectly, sir. Many ships have fallen into our trap. We've snared a few merchant ships and a Starfleet science vessel so far. You'll be pleased to hear that we're picking up a Federation cruiser on long-range sensors. Constitution class. Time to hunt bigger game. Glory to the Empire!
I'm going to put my boot right up your rear end, buddy.
Looks like the Klingons are using both guile and brute force here, Lieutenant. A pretty potent combination. The captain's definitely gonna want to hear about this.
You have nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Let's get back to the shuttle before more of them show up.
Bit late for that. Ouch. Oops. The personal endeavor system, it kind of makes you overpowered at any level. Especially the earlier ones.
We're ready to go when you are. Hope this thing's got enough fuel to get us back to the ship.
Well, this isn't the Galileo, so we have enough fuel.
Are you ready to board the shuttle, Lieutenant?
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
We made it. Never thought I'd be so happy to see a shuttle bay. I admit I had my doubts in the beginning. Didn't think I'd hold it together down there. Every time I heard those things roar. But here I am. Thanks for believing in me.
Bridge to shuttle bay. Please respond.
Alright, it's time for the more serious stuff.
We have some uninvited guests, Lieutenant. We've been boarded. The Klingons have breached the hull on the engineering deck and blocked our access. Since I can't send security in, I need you to secure the deck.
Yeah.
Start with the engineering lab. We need to bring our plasma relays back online. After that, secure the armory and main engineering.
I am the most overpowered person on this ship. I think I can take care of a few Klingons.
I'm remembering an old Earth adage about leaping from frying pans into fires. Your orders, Lieutenant?
Cover me.
I'll cover you while you clear out the lab, Lieutenant.
They shut down our primary plasma conduits. Get them running, fast.
That was too easy.
Plasma conduits reinitialized. Auxiliary power restored. Now clear out that armor.
Watch out! More Klingons!
Oh, please. No sign of... Ah, there they are. And there they are.
Great work. Secure engineering next, if you can.
Oh, please. This is easy. Then again, tutorial and all that.
We've cleared the rest of the deck, Lieutenant.
I will clear out main engineering, just like I've cleared out the rest of this ship. You have nothing, buddy. Absolutely nothing.
Please respond. Nice work. Internal sensors showed you have secured the engineering deck. Check the power relays for the weapon systems. Looks like the Klingons fried them during the fight.
I will soon have control of a far, far better ship. In case you're wondering, I'm pulling out a Tier 6 vessel.
Weapon power relays are up and running. Charge all phaser banks. I need you on the bridge, Lieutenant.
And not just any Tier 6 vessel. Well, you'll see very soon.
Sir, incoming transmission.
Why? Why do you exist, Daniels?
Federation starship, this is Captain Core. Surrender if you must, but I'd rather you fight with honor.
And I'd rather put my boot up your rear end, Corn. Oops. Corn. Core. They both start out the same way.
Good work, Lieutenant. The Klingons will think twice before they try to board this ship again. Now take the helm. We need to get to a friendly sector.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
I'll be giving Tarsi that phaser rifle soon.
Sensors are picking up Klingon power signatures in 2 nearby satellites. I'm thinking they're broadcasting the distress signals that lured in our ships. Bring us in close so we can scan them and find out.
Starship combat. You know, I may as well take this opportunity and equip those new fancy items. I'll be needing them later on the Constitution. Alright. She gets that.
Science report coming in now. The satellites are using a triaxilating signal. It's strong enough to cut through the interference and reach ships outside the nebula. Clever. Almost a shame we have to blow them up, isn't it?
Not really.
Nice work. Now, 1 down, 1 to go. Looks like this one is shielded, though.
Well, that's gonna be simple. Just let me have my full impulse. I hate tutorials. Come on. About time. That was easy. Moving on. Next target.
Can you hear us? We're under attack by Klingon raiders. Our shields are buckling. Won't last long.
Time for a case of TOS grade ass whooping. Everyone's favorite kind. Because, you know, TOS. Oops. That was kind of painful.
Thanks for the help. Our engines are offline. Could you transfer some energy and get them started again?
Now, let's get out of the tutorial as quickly as possible. We have better things to do.
Thanks for everything. Good luck with the Klingons.
I don't need luck.
Lieutenant, I've made some modifications to our torpedo launcher. I think you'll like the results.
I am well aware of bridge officer capabilities. Thank you very much. Now, Core. I believe I owe you a couple of torpedoes.
Your head will decorate my bridge.
Who do you think you are?
More Klingon ships detected on long-range sensors, sir.
Oh, go away, Daniels.
Fire!
Nobody likes you. Except for the weird people who think you're actually a force of good. The rest of us hate you because you're incompetent. And nobody likes incompetence. Oops. This is no challenge. Tell me,
Shields have failed.
where is a warrior worthy of my skills?
This is the USS Enterprise. Acknowledge, please.
Hello, Aurora. Let's go help the Enterprise. Then we can obtain one of her...
the cub comes to fight beside the wolf, eh? And now you will die with him as well.
That is what you think.
Ship is under attack.
Oops. I am slowly but surely ripping you apart. And I sure know it's not the Enterprise doing all that damage. I kinda wish. I mean, it's the Enterprise. It kind of reminds me of that old mission. City on the Edge of Night. Which sadly has been removed thanks to STD.
This isn't over, Kirk. I will avenge myself upon you and your lackey.
Thank you for your assistance.
I know. I really shouldn't be screwing around, but it's the Enterprise. Can you blame me? She's beautiful.
Looks like we're done,
Lieutenant.
Starfleet Command wants us and Enterprise back for a debriefing on this mess. Helm, set a course for Earth space dock. Warp factor 3.
Captain Garrett wants to see you in his office, Lieutenant. But he says to feel free to mingle with the other officers first. I'd take him up on that if I were you. I mean, how often do you get the chance to meet the crew of the Enterprise? The best of the best.
No one gets that chance. I mean, this is the crew. The Enterprise crew. I mean, Pike is nice and all. And I love rewatching The Cage as much as anybody, but... yeah. This is the Enterprise bridge crew. I'm just missing one person. Arguably the most important. But nobody wants William Shatner to join this little motley crew just yet.
It's been a pleasure working with you. I didn't enjoy going back to Taurus 2, but we got the job done thanks to you. Starfleet First Officers must be my good luck charm. Captain Garrett has requested me for a new logistics position here at ESD. Might not be as glamorous as the Final Frontier, but I've accepted. Until next time, good luck out there.
If you're going into the Lion's Den, you'll need a medical officer.
I love it when they use TOS voice clips.
That was some fine work back there, friend. It's not every day one walks away from a brawl with the Klingons. You look familiar. If you don't mind me saying so. Have we met before?
Not yet.
Ah, must be my imagination then. You meet a lot of folks serving in Starfleet, to be sure. By the way, I heard you ran into the local wildlife on Taurus too. Right unfriendly devils, aren't they? I won't be forgetting those gigantic spears anytime soon. Look me up sometime. We'll have a drink and share some caveman tales.
We were in Starfleet Academy together.
May the great bird of the galaxy bless your planet.
Lieutenant Uhura of the Starship Enterprise.
Thanks for coming. I have some good news to share. First off, Fleet promoted me to Admiral. I'll be working with Deep Space Command on several exploration initiatives there. Our ship's going to need a new captain. I've talked it over with Command, and they agree with my recommendation. You. Congratulations, my friend. I know the ship will be in good hands once I'm away. Don't think you've gotten rid of me, though. I plan on keeping you plenty busy out there.
Congratulations, Lieutenant. Every generation, Starfleet officers hear the call of duty. Hidden dangers lurk in space, and the threat of Klingon attack has made even the most stout-hearted reconsider their choice to travel throughout the stars. A last-ditch effort to find a common ground could end this conflict. But there are many who oppose peace. If the Federation is to be saved from chaos, new officers will need to take up the task of restoring peace. Live long and prosper, Lieutenant. Congratulations, Lieutenant.
I have some new orders for you. I've outlined important people you should talk to while visiting Earth Space Dock. Speak with the tailor to customize your appearance. After that, speak with the ship vendor to claim a shuttlecraft. Hello. I don't have anything for you today.
Won't need to change my outfit, and I apologize. I'm taking care of somebody's dog. He refuses to calm down. Now, we have a shuttle. But there is something we really want. This glorious little vessel. The Constitution-class Miracle Cruiser. And guess what? We're renaming this. And not just renaming it to anything. We're renaming her the USS Excalibur. After all, it's fitting. The ship may have, shall we say, been salvaged since that debacle with the infamous computer. Oh, right. Stupid bloody thing. Yes, yes, I'm well aware. I can learn that. Now let's customize the boat. I wish. I really wish. But this is a Connie from TOS. One that has been refit to standards. Now this is a Phase 2 Connie. And just for the sake of making sure everything's right, Constitution, bridge, and interior. There. Perfect. Let's return to Admiral Garrett. Then we can have a little more fun.
I know that being a starship captain is a big responsibility, but I believe you're up to the task. If you feel that your ship is ready for its next mission, I can give you new orders.
This is going to be a long vid, therefore.
Stay safe out there.
You have just earned your first skill points. Click here to learn more.
I don't need to learn more. I've been doing this ever since the bloody game went free to play. I don't need a tutorial.
Ever hear of Edron 4? Jim Kirk got into a tussle with a Gorn there and barely lived to tell the tale. Both the Gorn and the Federation have teams there now. I'd like you to back our people up in case the Gorn decide to engage in a little cowboy diplomacy. Stay safe out there.
Let's beam up to my new boat. The TOS Connie, sadly, is the only Tier 6 ship, other than the Jem'Hadar ones, you can get your hands on at this point in the game. That's right, you have to go to the future to get your hands on something better. Which is a shame. You could fly around in any of these ships, especially now that the Tier 6 ones have been unleashed. But no, you've only got the Connie. Let's just take a moment to appreciate how good Matt Jeffries is at designing things. Sure, the Cryptic crew might have modeled this, but they used his work to make it. Next stop, Edron 4. But first, resorting bridge officers.
Ensign Hunter, welcome aboard. I'm Security Chief Tarsi. Settling in okay?
It's going to take a little getting used to.
I can imagine. You'll be working with me in security, so if you need anything...
Thanks, Chief. I appreciate it.
Hey, don't mention it. Us red shirts stick together, right?
Right. You can count on me, Chief.
If only he died like a red shirt. I mean, seriously. He's incompetent. How many times has he screwed up? I mean, the Shockwave debacle, for one. Okay, the Suliban were sort of responsible for that nonsense. That doesn't excuse him from screwing up. Bringing Archer to the future. Congratulations, you just made sure the Federation doesn't exist. And now he's here, mucking about yet again. It's like life hates us. But we have the Excalibur, which has, let's be honest, Starfleet isn't wasteful. They don't just throw ships to the wayside for the sake of Here's the newest and greatest thing. There's probably an NX refit flying around here somewhere. If only you could use the legendary NX refit. Just to go, hey! This is the last swan song of the NX class. Hell, there's probably a NX refit flying around during the days of the cage. If the design works. I do have one gripe about this design. Well, the cryptic version of this design. It only has one torpedo launcher from the look of things, and not the 2 torpedo launchers shown in concept art, posters, and all the fun things we see from Star Trek Phase 2 in regards to this version of the ship. It just has the one torpedo launcher. It could be better.
Welcome to Edrin 4. I'm Bridget McKinnon, CO of the USS Zhang Ha. Glad you could join us. My science teams are on site and conducting initial surveys. Apparently, this place is quite the geological marvel. We're not the only ones present, though. Our friends from the Gorn hegemony aren't terribly chatty, but so far they're keeping the peace. Well, I'm sure my people wouldn't mind an extra hand down there on the geological marvel. Feel free to join the party.
Maintain the peace. Just keep flying. I mean, seriously, there should be...
Transporter room to bridge. The geological team, supplies, and gear are ready to beam down to Edrin 4.
2 torpedo launchers on this thing. I get it, artistic license on the part of Cryptic, but it just doesn't look right with just the 1 torpedo launcher. Still, this is the only Tier 6 Constitution I'm probably ever going to get. I know what you're thinking. You're not going to bother getting the temporal version? What's the point? I wouldn't be able to use it on any other tune except the one that unlocks it. And I get the trait from that ship with this ship. Now, as for my love of this design, it takes the best of TOS, which is everything, and modernizes it just a little bit. 2 turbo lifts. That's never a bad thing. And while this loads, I need to... Huh, that's never happened before. I need to go AFK for a little bit. Be right back.
Ah, there you are. Better late than never, huh? Ensign Skavron, Starfleet Corps of Engineers. Lovely planet we've got here. Charming, even, if you're fond of heat and rocks. Still, it's not a complete wash. To say this place is mineral-rich would be an understatement.
Well, my apologies for taking so long.
My first assignment out of the Academy was on Vulcan, working at a geothermal power site in Shikar. Great people, the Vulcans. Good at arguments, though all the logic comes off a little dry for my tastes. This is my first deep space assignment, and I'm damn glad for it. Hope we're going to travel to more than desert worlds, though. I hear Ryza's nice this time of year.
I hate Ryza.
My tricorder's showing some interesting mineral formations beyond this ridge.
This looks like a good place to start our scans.
Shut up, Daniels.
Nice to see a report was spot on for once. The mineral deposits here are remarkably pure.
Of course they are.
This carbon deposit is unusually pure. Apparently the Metrons don't prepare half-rate planets.
And soon we'll be dealing with Gorn. Who doesn't love dealing with giant lizards?
Whoever gets the mineral rights to this planet will be pleased. Very pleased indeed. My readings indicate there might be dilithium on this planet. I'll need to take more scans to be sure.
Let's make sure then, shall we?
The variety of minerals in the topsoil alone is astounding. Either my tricorder's broken, or the soil here has an amazingly high concentration of sulfur.
Well, as long as it didn't come out of somebody's rear end. Rotten eggs is not a fun smell.
What the? Mortar fire? We'd better head back to... Whoa! The mortars have closed off the pass! We can't reach the camp! Who would do this?
Look! Over there!
It's the Gorn!
I love the old Gorn. I mean, I like the Gorn from Enterprise too, but there's something to be said about the old guys in the rubber suits. That was fast.
Over there! There might be a way out of this infernal canyon further down the valley.
I really, really don't like STD weaponry, but if it gives you an edge, it gives you an edge. And, well... until they start returning to good old TOS, well, that's what I got, sadly. Oops. The personal endeavor system has made me a tad bit too overpowered.
We need a way out of this canyon, and I'm thinking that big rock up there is it. With a little Federation ingenuity, we can topple this rock with a makeshift bomb. Once it's down, we can walk across it and get back to camp before the Gorn use the Zhang Ha's science team as target practice. Have you read Captain Kirk's report on this place? We have all the materials we need here to make bombs. They won't be pretty like me, but they'll get results. If you can collect the materials, Ensign Hunter and I will work out where to place the explosives.
You know, the Mythbusters...
We're going to need at least 3 bamboo containers, sulfur, potassium nitrate, and coal.
Well, the Mythbusters tried to disprove this, but perhaps the bamboo here was different than bamboo here on Earth. Stronger. Capable of handling a boom. Let's be honest. There is a bit of suspension of disbelief you need for shows like Star Trek. People complain all the time about starship designs,
Behind us!
not realizing they're not made of steel, they're made of materials stronger than diamond. Also, they keep thinking this is going to be in gravity. It's going to be in the atmosphere. No, there's a reason the International Space Station isn't a giant, well, brick. In space, the only thing you have to worry about is it being strong enough to withstand, well, zero gravity. And being airtight, obviously. They don't have to look like they're from the Expanse. The Expanse is ultra-realistic. This doesn't have to be. And people keep forgetting that. Fortunately, I haven't.
Right. Ensign Hunter and I will construct the bombs we need to bring down this rock across the canyon. That's the easy part. It's up to you to keep those angry Gorn off us while we work. Hope you're a good shot.
I actually have the best weapon in the game.
Well, at least the Gorn are punctual. Keep them off us!
Enemy targets on center.
Crush that coal up good, Hunter. Not like that. Finer. Careful with that. Potassium nitrate can react explosively with these materials. Done! Now let's get these bombs in place. We're just about done.
Yes, we are. That's a bit of a bug. Instead of just playing all of them in sequence, it goes, well, you've killed all the enemies.
The bombs are primed to blow. We should move to a safe distance.
Here's your safe distance. Stand right beside them, Daniels. Rid me of your stupidity. I don't like him, in case you hadn't noticed.
Fire in the hole!
Well, there's a bug. They're gonna have to fix that. You know, just the explosion needs to be a few seconds earlier. That way, you know... Oh, who am I kidding? Cryptic's never gonna fix it. They're too focused on STD nowadays. Which is sad. In the extreme. Ugh.
Looks like some Gorn came through here. We better hurry.
We don't need to hurry. 3, 2, 1. Thompson sweep. It's almost unfair. On the other hand, I don't care.
Thank you. Things were looking pretty grim there for a moment. The Gorn. They kept saying the deaths of their people would be avenged, but we didn't do anything. I haven't fired a phaser since the Academy.
Time to beam back up. Let's try the Connie out, shall we?
Good to hear from you. Thank you for saving my people. We're making repairs, but it'll be some time before our engines are back online.
Let's repair that dear old Daedalus. If the Daedalus is still around, the NX is still around, in limited numbers. After all, it's an old boat by this time, and the Daedalus isn't that much newer.
We're picking up Gorn warp signatures on our long-range sensors here. They're coming back.
This should be relatively simple. Couple torpedoes, and some broadsides.
Target's shields have failed.
Shame I don't have a science officer to fire at this poor Gorn ship. But that would be unfair. Oops. I love the Phase 2 Constitution.
Thanks for covering us. The Gorn would have made short work of my ship otherwise. I owe you one. Slow but steady. Our warp drive is still disabled, but we're making progress.
I'll beam over some parts and make life easier for you.
I hate to ask, but something's bothering me. We picked up strange energy readings before the attack. It could be nothing.
Or it could be a lot of things.
Sending it now. I'd start with the debris of the Gorn ship that was destroyed. There might be a clue there.
Indeed, there may be. You know, every time I look at the Constitution from this angle, the only thing I hear in my head is the Battle of the Mutara Nebula. The OST track, not the battle itself. Because... At this angle, you could almost be fooled into thinking this was the TMP Connie. Then you look at the front and go, it's not the TMP Connie. It doesn't need to be. It's older and better. Honestly, they could have salvaged the Excalibur, refit it to this standard, and went, it's not as good as the future design, but hey, it works, right?
Captain, the crew of the Zhang-Ha were onto something. I ran a deep scan analysis of the Gorn debris, and the results are damned peculiar. Gorn ships aren't as tough as a Tellarite design, but our scaly friends know a thing or two about hull plating. Whoever fired this shot knew exactly where to hit them. Not with the data we have now, but the science team just found another strange energy reading nearby.
And that could only be one thing. I mean, seriously. The TMP Connie probably has more powerful impulse engines, a more efficient warp drive. I mean, they probably just upgraded the Warp 5 style engines that were still in this thing. Wasn't good enough, obviously. And the warp nacelles probably needed more work. And of course, there is the big exposed deflector dish. You knock that thing out and, well, no more warp drive. This is where we begin seeing the internalization of the deflector dish, slowly but surely getting deeper and deeper into the ship for better protection.
Picking up debris from the Gorn ship, and some trace elements of weapons-grade plasma. Sir, I know who did this. It's the Romulans.
Goddamn Romulans and their goddamn cloaking devices.
I'll shave my eyebrows if I'm wrong. It's the Romulans, I'm sure of it. There's more bad news. The Gorn are coming back, weapons hot. Orders?
It's the same ship as before. Doesn't look like they're back at full strength, though.
Target's shields have failed.
Oops. I don't even have any consoles and I'm ripping these people apart. That's just sad.
We thought we could share this space equally, Federation. Your unprovoked act of aggression against our research vessel tells me otherwise. I see no Romulans, only Federation ships. Do you think me a fool, Captain?
No, but I think you're stupid for forgetting that they have cloaking technology.
Most convenient, Captain, but I am unconvinced. Produce these Romulans that you claim destroyed our ship, or prepare to pay for your crimes.
Captain, I've got an idea. If we can generate a charged particle burst, we might overload their cloak.
Quite the clever one, Captain. Too clever, I'm afraid. No one can know of our actions here today. Your death, while regrettable, is necessary.
You honestly think you're gonna win this? I am flying a Constitution-class heavy cruiser. You are boned no matter what you do. It has been said that TMP Wrath of Khan style phasers would be better here. Honestly, TOS is best.
Well fought, Federation. The hegemony will remember the Romulan treachery today, and your assistance in exposing it. I propose we continue our joint surveys of Edrin IV under a mutual non-aggression pact.
So there was another player on the field. Nice work out there, Captain. We'll be heading for the closest starbase soon, but we'll be back to finish our work here, along with the Gorn, I'll wager. I think the Romulans will take a pass, though.
That's what you think. You can't argue with the Connie. You just can't.
Good to hear from you. I've read Captain McKinnon's report. Sounds like things got a little rough on Edrin IV. Still, the diplomatic corps thinks your actions will make a difference in future talks with the Gorn. Well done. Stay safe.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
Starfleet hasn't heard from Deep Space Station K-13 in a while. It's in a tactically sensitive part of the quadrant, and the brass is getting concerned. Get out there, find out what you can, and render assistance if needed. And hey, careful, okay? This could go sideways fast.
When doesn't anything go sideways in this game? Nothing goes to plan. Everything gets worse. The tutorial keeps popping up. What a beautiful ship. I only wish that there were more TOS designs added to this game. Such as, well, I would love the Starfleet Battles designs. I want to fly around in the Federation class. I know some people think it's ugly as sin. Me? I think it's a logical extrapolation of Jeffrey's design. It's not as great as the Constitution. Nothing is as great as the Constitution. When it comes to TOS, anyway, but could be worse.
Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
Oops. The superiority of the Constitution class over everything else. Yeah, just like the M5 incident. I think we kind of learned our lesson from that, seeing as I'm flying in the Excalibur.
Stay away! They're taking control! Don't come near us! They'll take you too! Ah, this station came from the station! Ah!
Okay. Oh boy. Me no likey. Speaking of me no likey, Scarvin, you need gun. A better gun. You also need to be in your engineering slot. Let's get going. To K-13. Oh boy. Hi.
Stop where you are and turn about slowly. I need to determine if you are infected. Neural parasites. A life form last encountered by the crew of the Enterprise at Deneva Colony. Those possessed The creatures tend to engage in hostilities with the uninfected, the better to render them fit for infestation. Temet, and while you have not engaged in hostilities thus far, I have seen infected employ false passivity in order to lure unwary prey. A tricorder scan of your adrenaline levels should verify your status. Scans show a slightly elevated level of adrenaline, though nowhere near that of an infected life form. Thank you for your patience. One can never be too cautious where these parasites are concerned.
Yes, considering one of them nearly killed Kirk's nephew, infected Spock, and nearly blinded him for life.
They are a life form that propagates by infiltrating the nervous system of a host creature. Through this neural link, they can compel their host to obey their bidding. They can also inflict extreme pain upon the host at will, and do so to discourage attempts at resistance. While effective, this punishment can lead to permanent neurological damage or death. At this time, most of the station personnel have become infected. While there is a possibility of uninfected survivors, I must warn that it is remote. According to Starfleet data files, the parasites can be safely destroyed by exposure to high-intensity ultraviolet light. My attempts at reconfiguring the station's lighting thus far have been unsuccessful. I am a physician, not a habitat engineer.
I love the... It may not be exact, but it's a I'm a doctor, not a reference.
As a precaution, I have developed a serum that can render a person toxic to the creatures. However, medical supplies here are limited. I have enough serum to inoculate your landing party and one other person.
Stupid thing. Alright, let's find out who isn't infected.
Now there's a voice I wasn't expecting. I take it you heard my distress call then. Well, in case you haven't noticed, the station's been overrun by neural parasites. The wee devils are back with a vengeance. I'm afraid not. I'm in the auxiliary control room down on the engineering deck. The place is filthy with parasites, so you'll understand if I don't go out for a wee jaunt.
I certainly don't.
I have secured a small amount of security gear. It may give you another edge against the parasites.
Unnecessary. I have the Thompson submachine gun with infinite ammunition. I just wish there was a way to modify this thing to not have the massive drum mag.
We may be able to gain useful knowledge by scanning one of the infected.
Okie dokie. Stun everybody. Then, scan away.
The creatures continue to be resistant to tricorder scans, sir. It may be fascinating. I'm detecting an unusually high level of tachyons nearby. Based on these readings, it is possible that a temporal event has occurred on the station within the last 4.2 hours.
Oh boy. Time travel. Nobody likes time travel. In fact, I say everybody hates time travel. A friend of mine certainly can't stomach it. Then again, he doesn't have the mind for time. I, on the other hand, I know better. I am well aware that the human language is currently unsuited to deal with temporal events. Then again, time travel hasn't become a thing just yet. Our lexicon will no doubt be updated when time travel actually does become a thing. That being said, paradoxes are not a thing.
The auxiliary control station is down the hall to our right. I'm reading a single human life form within the room. The biosigns match those of Commander Scott in the Starfleet Medical Database.
Let's not keep Scotty waiting then.
Hi there. It's good to see a friendly face. Ah, there you are. I was beginning to get a bit concerned. Thought you might have been taken by those little beasties. I'll just lock the door so none of them can get in while we discuss our next course of action. Now that you're here, we've some work to do. The way I see it, we need to get to main engineering and turn on the station's ultraviolet lighting. That'll sort the nasty bugs out properly.
While I cannot attest to the ability of UV light to sort Denivan parasites, it will initiate a complete molecular breakdown within all parasites exposed to it.
That's kind of what he meant. He's Scottish. They all have their own unique vernaculars. It's a shame the Vulcans haven't learned that just yet. It'll only take, well, another couple of centuries.
Aye, she's a Vulcan, all right. I was trying to override the lighting controls from here. It looks like someone sabotaged several duotronic relays. We have to repair them if we're going to have any chance of saving the station. Before we go, grab yourself a kit from the crate there. It might come in handy. We'd better get a move on. The parasites aren't ones to loiter about.
No, they are not. Of course I won't need the kit. Again, Thompson.
Aye, this is one of the broken relays, right here. That one was easy. Just a few more to go. Alright, there are several ways through the engineering section here. Keep in mind that the parasites tend to stay in dark corners. If you want to avoid them, do your best to stay in the lit areas.
Unfortunately, there is no way to get through this place without getting through the dark areas. So, the easiest answer is, well, if you find an enemy, shoot the enemy. Don't mind the parasites.
But remember, the parasites like the dark. We devils that they are.
Ugh.
I'll have this fixed up straight away.
Oh, that's a unique
That
bug.
takes care of that. No trouble at all.
It's like I'm holding nothing. And now I'm holding something.
This one just needs new fuses.
Get off my back. Literally, get off my back.
There we are. Good as new.
As stated.
Now this may be a bit tricky. Just a wee bit longer.
Yeah, we're fine.
There we are now.
To main engineering. And yes, I know, I could have taken the long route. Fun fact. It would have taken just as long anyways. In fact, there are no unlit, well-lit areas right now. So, just bear with the parasites and move on.
It looks like someone has overridden the command codes. You best get to the command center and see what you can do from there. I'll stay here, barricade the door, and keep trying to get those UV lights going.
Scotty, This place is encrusted with the damn things. Let's deal with the station commander, shall we?
Look, who are those soldiers? They're definitely not Starfleet.
Oops.
The parasites, they're dying. All of them.
Salvage what you can and send a squad to kill the Federation vermin.
Vermin? Oh, Krog. You need to learn a lesson. You are the vermin. I am your god.
We need to talk.
No, we do not, Daniels.
Actually, the name's Daniels. This may be a little difficult to absorb, but recent events may make it more plausible. I'm actually from the future. I can't tell you how far, just that it's a future worth protecting. That's why I'm here now. The aliens we're fighting are called the Nakul, and they're waging a temporal Cold War with us. They're trying to change the timeline here in order to disrupt the future. Understand that I follow a temporal version of the Prime Directive. There's only so much I can reveal to you. Trust that we're doing the right thing here. Time's a factor. We need to stop the Nakul from obtaining the neural parasites. The Nakul ship that brought these invaders is now fighting the USS Ptolemy. Someone must have sent a distress call. Unfortunately, Ptolemy is no match for the Nakul. Neither is your ship, at least not alone. We should eliminate the parasites on the ships you fought earlier. Those crews will help you once their minds are their own again. It's risky, but it's our best shot here.
I would have preferred to ignore him, but I don't have a choice in the matter, do I?
I'm transferring command codes to you now. Use them to remotely access the computer on those disabled ships and emit an ultraviolet flash inside.
This is Captain Seralt of the Ptolemy. We have engaged the enemy ship, but we are outmatched. Please restore those ships and join the fight quickly.
That did it, Captain. Looks like everyone's coming around. The parasites are gone.
This is Captain Doherty of the USS Myrmidon. What happened? What's going on?
Brain parasites hijacked you and your ships. We rescued you. And now we have to kill something.
Parasites? What? Okay, sorry. We're right behind you, Captain. Lead the way.
Something's wrong. We're not doing any damage.
The Ptolemy has been destroyed. They have some kind of temporal shielding.
Temporal shielding? Never heard of it. But maybe a modulated ion burst could disrupt it.
The ship is from the 27th century. It has better shields than we do. Not temporal shielding. I mean, seriously. You send an army brigade from the U.S. Army back around to the Revolutionary War with all their armored equipment. Well, they're pretty much going to destroy the British Continental Army now, aren't they? Same applies here. Oh boy.
Fine work, Captain. You sent those devils back to wherever they came from. Aye, we do have a wee problem, however. The burst I sent, when combined with the power source, created a feedback pulse. The feedback is creating some kind of spatial anomaly, which is beginning to pull the station in. We need to evacuate, immediately.
Okay, we're in range. Energizing. Let's get you all out of there.
Scott here. The portal's collapsing. We're in for a right bumpy ride. Everyone's aboard. Get us clear before that portal blows. There she goes. I don't think anyone's ever seen a station do that.
We may have missed those people, but we'll rescue them eventually.
Perhaps not. After all, it was a temporal vortex. They may well survive. In another time. Well then, it's been quite a day, hasn't it? Neural parasites, time-traveling raiders. Why, things will seem almost normal once I'm back on the Enterprise. Speaking of, I'm sure the ships here can give me a lift back to her now that they're parasite-free. If Starfleet Command gives you any grief on this, remind them that lives are more valuable than equipment. And you saved a lot of lives today.
And we're not the Imperium of Man, so we can just replace them.
I apologize for springing all of this on you at the last minute, and I'll explain more as soon as I can. For now, I can tell you that history is unfolding as it should, and that was not the end of K-13. You're building a fine tradition of making the right decisions in crisis situations. In the meantime, don't talk to anyone about the Nakul or their time travel. We can't risk any further corruption of the timeline. Well, maybe if you weren't so incompetent, maybe you could have prevented them from being time-traveling raiders in the first place, Daniels. Your incompetence is screaming out to be ended. The TIC needs purging.
Let me get this straight. K-13, an entire space station, just disappeared into some type of spatial anomaly? And I thought some of Kirk's after-action reports were a little out there. Starfleet Command won't be pleased with the loss of K-13, or the people that were still on board, but they'll be happy to hear about the lives you did save. Good work out there. Keep it up. Stay safe.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
We have a problem at Babel. Corridon rebels have taken several Federation trade officials hostage, and they're threatening to kill them unless the UFP withdraws from the Corridon sector. I'd like you to work with the negotiation team and try to resolve this peacefully.
Somebody's mucking about with the timeline.
I need to speak
again.
With quarters. I think it's time for that explanation I owe you.
Oh, and look at that. The person in question mucking about with the timeline.
There's more to this mission than you realize, Captain.
Go away, Daniels. No one likes you. No one wants
Something's
you.
not right. I'll explain shortly.
I mean, seriously. Nobody likes him. Nobody wants him. Everyone wants him dead. And I'm one of them. And that really needs to go away. I do not need a map of the Alpha Quadrant. I am perfectly capable of navigating this place. Tutorials. I love this ship. Just the classic lines. The awesome design. I only wish it had came into the game sooner. But the anniversary of Star Trek Online had to come eventually. And, well, while the th anniversary of STO wasn't anything lovable or special, burn 'em. You might as well milk it for all it's worth. And in this case, we get something relatively special. 10 starships that were the flags of the series.
All right. I appreciate your patience. I'm what's known as a temporal agent. It's my job to preserve the timeline.
You suck at it.
You helped me stop one temporal incursion at K-13.
There's
been another at Babel, and I could use your help with it.
Incompetent twit. The
Welcome
standards.
to the temporal ready room. I use it to monitor the timeline. The Nakul have sent agents to a critical point in time. We believe they disrupted the Babel conference in 2268 aboard the USS Enterprise. I want to send you back there to stop them. You'll be sent back to a point shortly before the conference begins. I'm sending one of our best temporal agents along. I believe you've met.
Nice to see you again. It's been some time. For me, at least. For you, I see hardly any time has passed at all. It must be strange to see me looking, older.
Once you're on Enterprise, deal with the Nakul and make sure the conference proceeds as planned. You'll have a temporal transponder, which will allow me to communicate with you and bring you back. You'll also have these bioscanners. They're short range, but will detect Nakul agents nicely.
Do the job right, and no one will know we were there.
Those Wrath of Khan uniforms need to be redesigned. I don't want to talk to Daniels. I really don't.
Thank you for coming, Captain. The situation at Babel shouldn't be happening. Something in the past has changed, and not for the better.
Well, you're not giving me much choice in the matter, so... Alright, the next mission involves Tholians. So, I suppose I'm gonna have to pull one of these out. The classic EVA suit. First seen, ironically, in the Tholian web.
Let's begin by using Enterprise's sensors to look for signs of our time-traveling friends. The computer won't have any details on the Nakul, so you'll need to recalibrate the sensors manually on the bridge. Oh, and one more item to be aware of. Ensign Pavel Chekhov is currently on duty on the bridge, which is why I will be remaining here out of sight. As much as I would like to visit the bridge again, two of me in the same place would raise questions neither of us wants to answer.
Nobody likes answering those questions. Just ask the crew of the relativity.
Let's get to work. I will check with you again after you are done on the bridge.
And to just look cosmetically.
I haven't worn this uniform for some time. It's a little snug.
That either means it's shrunk or, well, you grew. Look at that. The Master System's display of the Enterprise. You know, the Gamma version of the STD Connie looks a lot like that. Just not as good. I mean, it could be better.
Nice work. I'm getting some readings from Deck 11, but I can't pinpoint them. Some sort of interference. We'll need to get close and scan by hand. Start with the mess hall. There are a lot of people coming and going there.
Okay, time to meet some legends. It's a shame that some unique things were removed. For example, Gav and Sarek argued a lot. And yes, I'm aware he just flirted with me. It makes kind of sense in this case. And Dorian. You know, these two, Sarek and Ambassador Gav. Seriously? He's halfway through the floor. Cryptic. Your standards. You need to start fixing these things. Hopefully we hear these two properly argue at long length. I'm gonna hear them yell.
Vulcan, I would speak to you.
It does seem unavoidable.
How do you vote on the Corridon emission?
And no art, and no recording. Oh, that's just disappointing. Let's just scan all these people and get it over with.
Is there something I can help you with? Oh, should I be concerned? It was my understanding that the transporter filters out biohazards.
Just being thorough.
Of course. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way.
Yeah, it's a shame that we don't get to hear Gav and Sarek argue. I'll have to get audio from the episode and edit it in at some point. At least for the original one.
Looks like they're on the move. Though I'm still getting a lot of false readings on the sensors. Let's keep checking the deck. Like the old Russian saying goes, 2 heads are better than 1.
That is not a Russian saying, Chekhov.
Being here takes me back. It was quite a different time for Starfleet. Head back toward the reception.
Let's just appreciate how well the guys at Cryptic recreated the hulls of the Enterprise. If only they could have done that for other ships.
Head toward the observation deck.
I mean, they did it for Voyager, and the Defiant, and the Enterprise D, but not for the E, or Enterprise, or the NX-01. That's disappointing. I I would like the interiors for those ships.
Turn toward
period.
the engineering circuits, away from the turbo lift.
Alright, let's deal with the not cool.
There he is. Wait, that's Ambassador Gav.
You have nothing. Let's not disturb the scene of the crime. Orions. Nothing? No message? That's disappointing. Nothing saying to protect Kirk, just go to deck 11, deck 5?
The captain's wound is serious. He'll bleed out if we don't help him. Stabilize him, quickly. Dr. McCoy will be here shortly to finish the job.
Alright, let's save Kirk. They didn't use Shatner's likeness. Copyright issues, probably.
Good. It looks like the captain is stabilized. We need to move. I've detected Nakul technology in engineering.
To the turbo lift. Ah, my burns. My poor burns.
Someone set a bomb in here. I cannot defuse it and keep the mains online at the same time. Wait, Chekhov, is that you? You look older than me, laddie. And you, the last time I saw you was on Dorzana Station. Something was dodgy then, and it's more than a wee bit dodgy now.
Yeah. This was when the Drozana Station nonsense was part of the main story. It was removed. Nonsensically, and put in a side branch. And I am still not pleased by it.
It's complicated, Scotty. We've been sent back in time to keep the Enterprise from being destroyed. Aliens are trying to alter the future of the Federation. There's no time to explain. You have to trust us, old friend. We're here to help.
All right, lad. You can start by helping me keep this ship from blowing to pieces. And get rid of that bloody bomb, if you can.
All right. Let's help the Scot.
Divert power to the number 2 shield. Good work. Now check on that bomb. Auxiliary power to shields. Good work. Now check on that bomb. Repair teams to deck 19. Good work. Now check on that bomb.
We're not going to be able to defuse it. Let's just bomb somebody.
The captain's ordering me to cut the power? I see what he's about.
Nice.
That got him.
We can't disarm this bomb, but we need to get to that Orion ship anyway. We can take it with us.
Why not just beam it into space?
We can't let that ship be captured. It has dangerous technology on it. Scotty, I need you to trust me. That ship needs to be destroyed. You can't tell anyone what happened here. It could damage the timeline irreparably. Besides, I'm captain now, so I technically outrank you.
All right, lad. I'll take you at your word. Once you're ready, I'll send you and that bomb over.
I'm ready right now. Beam me over, Scotty.
Good luck to you. Energizing. Now, what's this?
You'll see that later on. Time for a
The
massacre.
Orions will lock down their ship. We need to override their security systems.
Whoa. So deadly, I lag the game. Oops. Very oops.
I'm going to try to attach the bomb to the Orion ship's engine controls. I'll need you to cover me. See if you can hold them at the doorway so they can't shoot me in the back.
That should be relatively easy. All I need to do is just... well, this. Five, 4, 3, 2. You only need the 2 sweeps. Beam us up, Scotty! Because screw Daniels. Nobody likes Daniels. Beep, 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 beep.
That was close. I'm glad I got you out of there in time. You're both valuable agents. Of course, no one will know what you've done today, with the exception of Commander Scott. That being said, this won't be the strangest thing he'll see in his career. Not by a long shot.
Do I really need to spell out how many weirder things he's dealt with? Time travel, transporter suspension, inventing transparent aluminum.
Indeed. Comes with the job, I'm afraid. In the meantime, I can send you and Captain Chekhov back to your respective timelines when you're ready.
They keep confusing them. Timelines are alternate universes. What he actually means, and what he's supposed to say, is time periods. Cryptic. Learn your time travel. Learn your temporal stuff, please.
That was quite an adventure. I think you have the makings of a fine temporal agent, my friend. As good as it was to see Enterprise again, I have other duties to attend to. We're preparing for a very serious event, the Battle of Procyon 5. That conflict will determine the...
Yeah, I'm well aware of what Procyon 5 is. I've dealt with that STF.
Ah, but you don't need to worry about that now. Enjoy your time on the frontier of yesteryear, a time that will never come again.
Much to my sadness. It's a shame. My hopes for STD were seeing the uniforms of the cage, the style of the cage, give it a bit of a modified look. But instead, what do I get? Stuff that belongs in the 25th century. The incompetence. The incompetence.
A lot could have gone wrong today. We could have lost critical figures in history. Sarek of Vulcan, James Kirk, and the crew of the Enterprise. The list is long. However, the timeline was preserved, thanks to you and Captain Chekhov. The Babel Conference proceeds as planned, and Korridan is admitted to the Federation. Well done. I'll continue to monitor the timeline for incursions. I hope I can count on you again when the time comes for action.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
If only I could avoid that. Unfortunately, I can't. Let's equip that deflector dish. And the warp core. I knew I forgot something. Ta-da! Excellent. Projectile weapons training.
Things are heating up with the Tholians. Monitor stations are detecting large fleet movements toward Federation space, and they're refusing all of our diplomatic hails. We're doing all we can to prevent a war, but it's not looking good. I want you to join a task force I'm assembling. If this goes south, I want my best people on the front line when it does. Stay safe out there. Good luck with... Hello. I don't have it.
The Federation shouldn't be having significant issues with the Tholians at this point in time. I've been scanning the timeline and I think I've found the problem. 2 years ago, a Tholian colonial fleet was destroyed. The Tholians blamed the Federation, and increasing hostilities have ultimately led us here. This is something I'll need your help to correct.
You know, it would have been corrected by not letting the Nakul have their sun vaporized.
Setting temporal transponder back 2 years. We need to correct the timeline during the Defiance encounter with the Tholians.
We don't need to correct the timeline at that point. Just go back, fix the Nakul star, be done with it. And prevent the Tholians from getting their hands on the Toxutot in the first place. So they don't, well, cause this. It's quite simple, really. Prevent the Nakul from being vengeful by keeping the Tholians from being vengeful. And the best way to do that is to prevent the Nakul from being assholes. But no, nobody wants to listen to me. Nobody listens to the one that knows what he's talking about. Disappointing, but not unexpected. And it's going to take a while to get to the unexplored territory. I mean, it's at the bottom of the freaking map. A 3x3 map. Let's see if I can find Romulus and Remus. Huh. Well, there goes that plan. Two Connies are better than one. Especially a super Connie like this one. Well, super is a relative term. This is better than the TOS Connie, but it's not the ultimate evolution of the Connie. That would be the TMP Connie, which led to the Excelsior. You know, that brings me back to a point I was talking about about an hour ago. Deflector dishes and how they slowly became one with the hull. It started with the TMP Connie. That deflector dish was nice and recessed. Then there's the Excelsior, which had a nice shielded deflector dish. The Ambassador reverted, so did the Excelsior and Ambassador reverted a little. The Ambassador and Galaxy reverted a little bit. The Sovereign embraced it. And then we got other designs that, well, have shielded dishes. It didn't start with the Akira. It started with the Excelsior and the TMP Connie. And then you've got the really heavily shielded models, such as the Miranda. It has a deflector dish. It's just really small.
We've arrived in 2268, and not a moment too soon. The Nakul are clearly out for blood. Tholians are quite xenophobic. They may feel the Federation is part of the problem here.
You are part of the problem, Daniels, and why is Temet taking up that spot? Much better.
We're being hailed by the Defiant. I'll remind you that our orders forbid us from telling them anything specific about the situation. I recommend deflecting their questions until the situation here is resolved.
How about I shove you into the warp core?
Good to see you. We're in a real tight spot here. The Tholians were taking a serious beating when we reached the system, and the other ships opened fire on us the minute we dropped out of warp. Mind lending us a hand until we figure out what's going on?
I know exactly what's going on, Captain, and I'm gonna deal with it.
Was a Tholian colony fleet.
Oh, like you care, Daniels. You kill billions on a regular basis.
We need to firm up our shields.
I mean, seriously, how many timelines? How many species does he condemn?
The aliens have disabled the Tholian flagship. She's in trouble.
These guys don't stand a chance.
Sir, if the Nakul kill the Queen, an entire Tholian bloodline will be wiped out.
And you care? How many billions? Trillions has Daniels ended through his incompetence.
Enemy boarding parties are beaming to the Tholian flagship.
No. He doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. But I do.
Estimated Tholian casualties are in the thousands.
Small potatoes for you.
Vengeance for the children.
Don't suppose you have any idea what's going on here? There's nothing on these aliens in our computers or why they'd attack the Tholians, or us for that matter.
They could just really hate everybody. I need to help the Tholians, so mind helping keep my ship safe.
Alright, do what you need to do. We'll talk about all of this when the shooting stops. Deal?
I know it doesn't feel great keeping information from the Defiant's crew, but believe me, it's for the best. I'll monitor the situation here while you assist the Tholians. Do what you can to save them. Good luck.
You don't care about saving the Tholians. For that matter, I don't really care about saving the Tholians. Tholians are assholes.
I've found appropriate transport coordinates on the Tholian flagship. Hopefully you can convince them that we're not at fault here. If the Tholians go to war with the Federation now, it would be devastating on a galactic scale.
Too hot. 500 degrees Kelvin, anybody? Now, let's get everybody equipped with EV suits. And the only people that really fit into those suits are... well... to Matt and Tarsi. Meanwhile, I get the best suit. Energize! Daniel's the incompetent.
Reading only a few Tholian life signs. I'm detecting numerous Nakul reinforcements are on their way to your position. Stay alert.
Stupid Nakul, you've got nothing on me. Feel the might of the 23rd century. Yeesh. The Nakul really don't like the Tholians. I mean, understandable, but...
Something's wrong. And I doubt the Tholians are to blame.
Well, you could say they are. They did destroy the Nakul's son, although you'll find that out soon enough.
I'm reading more incoming Nakul transporter signatures.
Alright, time to save the ship. Yes, I am aware that double popping up thing really needs to be fixed. Alright. Let's stabilize this very...
Energy readings on the flagship are returning to normal. Whatever you did worked.
Okay, I'm going to admit that top part, that bottom part there, looks very much like a TMP-style warp core.
We've stopped the ship from detonating, but they're not cool. They've killed Tholian colonists and even hatched those. What they've done here is an atrocity.
Like you care, Daniels! How many species and beings in general have you murdered just to protect your perfect timeline?
The last remaining Tholians are close to your position, and more Nakul are on their way.
You are beyond
I'd hurry if I were you.
a hypocrite. Beyond a hypocrite. The only time the Temporal Prime Directive should really come into play is to prevent serious alteration of the timeline. Making a minor change? Nothing. Let's talk to the Queen.
Humanoid command unit, why did you kill your kind? This is irrational. Explain.
We didn't kill our kind. I'm from the United Federation of Planets. They're not the Nakul.
Federation, Nakul, all humanoids are the same. Chaotic, irrational, peaceful, then not. Warring, then you leave.
Tholians.
Those you call Nakul killed our people. Our children, all are dead. Our sisters must know. Leave now, Federation. Leave us to our final task. You cannot help us. Too late. The hatchlings slaughtered. The colonists lost. Nothing can help in the face of this terror. We must send our message. Others will come. Leave now.
Alright. And Tholian.
We've got enemy ships on an intercept course, including a dreadnought. We won't last long against a force like that.
Continue to fight Nakul. Keep them from us while we contact our sisters. If you speak truly, you will not betray us.
Alright. Time to deal with more Nakul. But seriously, Daniels? Serious hypocrite.
I've been monitoring the Tholian Queen's progress. She hasn't been able to send the signal to her people. Orders?
Shut up and let me do my job.
Okay, let's have a little chat. What's the situation here? Where did those alien ships come from? I'd like some straight answers for a change.
They're from the future.
And I don't need to know, right? I read you, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. That big alien ship is still heading our way. Let's focus on that.
Indeed.
Here they come.
Gotcha. You're next. Oops. You don't like having plasma shoved into you, do you?
Just lost our engines. It'll take a while for my chief engineer to work a few miracles.
If only he had Scott.
My engineers are gonna need time. A lot more time. More ships inbound to our location. The alien dreadnought is concentrating fire on the Tholian flagship.
Two can play the tractor beam game. You don't like getting shot at, do you? Especially by a far superior starship. Oops. I win. You died.
Federation, you have proven you are different, rational. This pleases us. We have sent word to our sisters. The Nakul will pay. The Federation will not. Now, vengeance for the slaughter of a generation. Vengeance for our children.
The Queen's message has been sent through subspace and... Yes! The timeline is correcting itself. Good work. Now, we just need to help with... Oh no. The Queen is going to full impulse. She's gonna ram the Nakul Dreadnought!
Prepare for ramming speed!
Our engines are still down! We can't escape!
Yeesh. Captain? You know, this is a real nice comparison shot. I mean, look at that. You can't get any more perfect than that. That's perfect. We're right alongside each other. Yeesh, I don't like the glow-in-the-dark effect. Alright, let's save the crew of the Defiant and get out of here.
No. I'm afraid that this is their fate. This is one of the hardest things about being a temporal agent. We can only make the changes we have to make, not the ones we want to make.
Screw you, Daniels.
I'm afraid there's not. History states that the Defiant went missing, only to be found here weeks later by the Enterprise. Though they're lost, we now know that they played an important role in keeping the Federation safe, in protecting the timeline. For what it's worth, I will be sure their heroism is included in my report.
Screw you, Daniels.
The Tholians will remember this as well. This encounter may lead them to be more inward-focused, avoiding conflicts with the Federation, for the time being. At the very least, they will know that it wasn't the Federation that was responsible for the destruction of their colony compound.
430 men and women died because you wanted to preserve your perfect timeline. Ugh. At least I got one good thing out of this. A nice comparison shot between a TOS Connie and a Phase 2 Connie.
Captain Archer had similar concerns when I worked with him. We often disagreed, but in the end, we were able to work past our differences and do the right thing. I hope you and I can do the same. Leaving Defiant to her fate was a hard choice, but it saved untold billions of lives. That has to count for something.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
Daniels. Hypocrite and fool. Let's get this over with.
We have a situation in the Caleb system. The Klingons are massing a battle fleet in that sector, and it's pointed at Federation space. I'm leading a force to respond to this aggression, and I want you to be a part of it. If they cross the line, we need to be ready for anything. Stay safe out there.
This is a pivotal moment in Federation history. The Nakul may attempt to disrupt it somehow, change the course of time. We'll need to look for signs of temporal flux. If they show up, we'll need to deal with them, no matter what.
The Battle of Caleb 4 was mentioned in, well, the last episode Core ever appeared in. Essentially, he went, we fought there. I took apart a cloaking device to see how it worked, because I didn't trust those Romulan bastards. He wasn't wrong. And, well, he spoke of a glorious battle where, well, the Klingons kicked some serious ass. Then again, they're Klingons. Insult them all you like, but kicking ass is kind of what they do. The smart ones are the ones that kick ass and become Dahar masters. The mooks think more about personal glory and honor, and they die. I suppose it's their way of weeding out the idiots in the gene pool. Only the smartest and the strongest survive. Those who adapt to situations. Meanwhile, the idiots who charge in with a batleth raised like, well, some crazed idiot, well, they get a phaser to the face, and promptly stop threatening everybody. Why am I going so slow? I'm only going warp 5. I should be going warp 7. You know, the good speed. I want my ludicrous speed. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. Other than continue to regale you of stories of glory and death. Especially death. Everybody likes death. should really, really just go grab another ship. But I'm not going to. Why? Well, the answer is very, very, very simple. If I go cheat with another ship, well, it just won't feel right. Gonna stick with the glorious Constitution class. The best ship of its generation. Alright, time to kick some ass. Klingon ass.
All hands, this is Admiral Garrett aboard the USS Yorktown. I'm the commanding officer of this task force. Our long-range sensor platforms have detected a Klingon battle fleet massing near this system. At the moment, they're attacking our subspace relay network in order to disrupt communications and long-range surveillance in this sector. We have the Klingons outnumbered at this time. Should they abandon reason and follow a standard attack doctrine, fire to disable their ships if possible. A strong show of force should send them back to their side of the line. All ships go to yellow alert. Garrett out.
Here we go. Look at that. All these ships, they just feel like they belong in TOS. Alright, weapons free.
Klingon formation is breaking. All ships, give chase.
Target's shield have failed.
Klingon ships. Decloaking? All ships, this is Garrett. Execute battle plan Sigma 4. Repeat, execute that. Concentrate fire on the cruisers. We need to protect them.
mighty Federation has been brought to heel at last by the Klingon Empire. Those who remain shall know mercy in return for your unconditional surrender. We Klingons can be gracious in victory, though should you wish to die in battle with honor, I will gladly oblige you.
I'm picking up a temporal anomaly on one of the Klingon ships. It's consistent with readings we've seen at previous Nakul incursions. They're trying to interfere with the timeline again. Leave that to me. I'll modify the transporter and beam you over, past their shields. Once on board, free the ship and neutralize the anomaly if you can. Hurry. We're literally running out of time.
There are intruders in the engineering section. Eliminate them immediately.
You need to finish them now. All of them. You don't understand how dangerous they are.
I don't need to do anything. Do not forget who is captain here and who is merely a visitor.
I've given you the means to victory. I suggest you use them.
Noted. Though it seems we have other concerns now.
I warned you, Core. Deal with this. Don't fail me.
Well, well. I was hoping for Kirk, but I got you. Pity. So you're the Federation globflies who found their way onto my ship. A bold maneuver, to be sure. Bold or not, you remain insects. A minor nuisance to be exterminated, swiftly and without mercy. And in that way, we are alike, for we both are here to help ourselves. Today, I will take what I want in the Empire's name and use it to utterly defeat the Federation. And the Nakul? Should the time for war come, we will meet them in glorious battle. But for now, our goals align. A valiant effort, little fly. But it is over! Glorious! Remember this day.
We're outmatched here. Disengage under best possible power.
Well done. Thanks for the help.
Nice work. I owe you one.
Make for heading 265 Mark 10. Best speed.
Run while you can, Starfleet. You won't get far. At least one Starfleet officer has the courage to die well. Tommy.
That's a new bug.
I'm afraid you're dead. Your ship was destroyed in combat while protecting the retreat of Admiral Garrett's forces. Your sacrifice allowed Garrett to warn Starfleet about Klingon cloaking tech, but your ship was lost with all hands. At least, that's what's in the history books. I've brought you and the crew members I could save to the early 25th century. You're being recruited as a temporal agent. Since you're dead, we're giving you a new identity. We have a speed training and reacclimation process that will help you to fit in. I know this is a bit unusual, but you'll get used to it. Believe me when I say it's better than the alternative.
No, it's not.
Welcome, nerds. Space Dock. Busy day on the holodeck, sir? I love dressing up for those historical holo novels, too. My Harry Mudd costume took first prize last year. That being said, you're scheduled for a meeting with the top brass, so you might want to update your uniform beforehand. The Admiral can be a stickler for that sort of detail, after all.
Not today.
You're scheduled for a meeting with the top.
I hope you enjoyed this 25 subscriber special. Housecoat Gaming, signing off.